You stopped expecting, not suddenly, not because someone told you to, but because something in you quietly shifted. At first, you didn't even notice it. It showed up in small ways. The way you didn't check your phone as often. The way you didn't wait for a reply. The way silence didn't feel so heavy anymore. And that was new, because before, you were always expecting something. A message, a sign, a shift in their behavior, something that would tell you that things were still there. You didn't just care, you waited. And in that waiting, you slowly gave away your peace. And the strange part was, it didn't feel like you were doing anything wrong, because you told yourself that it was just care, that it was normal to wait, to hope, to look for something more. But what you didn't see was how that quiet hope was keeping you stuck in the same place. Because expectation has a quiet weight to it. It sits in your mind, it pulls at your attention, it makes you look for meaning even when there isn't any. And the hardest part is, you don't even realize it's happening. You just feel it, that subtle tension, that quiet hope, that constant pull towards something outside of you. But now something was different. You still noticed things, you still understood what was happening, but you weren't waiting for it anymore. You weren't expecting it to change. You weren't expecting them to show up differently. You weren't expecting anything at all. And even when you had to reach out for something simple, something that had nothing to do with the past, you noticed it. You didn't overthink it the same way anymore. You didn't sit there wondering how it would be received, how it would be interpreted, or what it might lead to. You just said what needed to be said and left it there. And whatever came after that, or didn't change anything inside you. Because for the first time, you weren't tied to the outcome. And that's when you noticed something else. You were no longer reacting the way you used to. Things that once would have stayed on your mind for hours now passed, almost effortlessly. It wasn't that you stopped feeling, it was that you stopped holding on. And strangely, that didn't make you feel empty, it made you feel lighter. Because for the first time, your peace was no longer tied to what they did or didn't do. You stopped looking at your phone, hoping for something. You stopped reading into silence, trying to understand it. You stopped creating meaning where there was none. And in that space, you found something unexpected. Calm. Not the kind of calm that comes from everything going your way, but the kind of calm that comes from not needing anything to go your way. You see, it was never really about them. It was about what you were expecting from them. Because expectation is what kept you attached, not the person. And once that expectation faded, so did the weight. You didn't have to force yourself to move on. You didn't have to pretend not to care. You didn't have to convince yourself of anything. You just stopped expecting. And in doing that, you gave yourself something you didn't even realize you lost. Freedom. Freedom from waiting. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from needing someone else to complete your peace. And maybe the most powerful part of all this is, nothing around you had to change. They didn't suddenly become better. They didn't suddenly understand you. They didn't suddenly give you what you once wanted. You just stopped needing it. And at some point, you stopped checking. Not your phone, but yourself. You stopped asking, "Am I okay?" Because you didn't feel the need to anymore. There was nothing to measure, nothing to fix, nothing to figure out. You just were. And the strange part is, you didn't even notice when that happened. And when you reached that point, you realized something quietly, but deeply. You were never waiting for them. You were waiting for yourself to let go. And once you did, everything became lighter. Not because life changed, but because you did.